Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob, and today I shall be attempting to take this 1985 Volkswagen Golf GTI from shabby to shiny. Now this is one of my kind of, I guess, boy racer favourite cars, the Mark II, and I always preferred probably the Mark 1, but no, I think I do want a Mark II, and I'm actually on the lookout for one at the moment. But we'll start by removing the single rivet, drill down the centre of that post, remove the flange, and tap that hole. Remember to lube the end of your piece. You certainly don't want to snap it in the hole. So here's the little car. And I actually only bought this probably a week ago. On its own, paid a bit of money for it. Underneath you can see Matchbox Volkswagen Golf GTI from 1985. So made in Macau, this one. But yeah, I actually didn't know that this car existed. I just come across it by accident, and yeah, I paid up quite a bit for it because I thought it would be pretty interesting for all of us to see, you know, what we can do with it. But quite cool with the opening bonnet there. Although a really strange tow hook on the back, so that's coming off for sure. But the yeah, nice bit of engine detail as well, which is, I don't want to say rare, but kind of a lot of the cars that I've done so far, it's only been a couple, one or two. So you know, I enjoyed detailing out the engines. These wheels will not be remaining. And I like how the front grille, arches and interior all in one piece. Certainly makes my life easier. In black, which on a Golf GTI I think has to be the only colour that you want on the interior. So we'll give that a clean up later on. And thankfully the bonnet here comes off easy enough without having to kind of break any tabs or drill anything out. When that happens, I just leave it in place and paint it with it in position, but I do prefer to have it separate so you can do a proper job. And then the main casting here with this tab obviously for the bonnet there, but we'll colour code that later on so that it's not so obvious. And cheers. So with the casting there in my foot-long hot dog jar, covered into some boiling water, and I'll add a few good teaspoons of caustic soda. And leaving that to one side, I shall concentrate on cleaning up the plastics. And then the interior there, nice and simple, nice and easy. And the window section there just gets a dip in the Pledge Revive It solution. I'll just tap that off, any excess. And I'm going to detail the front of this grille now and remove that tow hook. So if only my camera will focus. Kind of done a bit of white on the headlights there. Tried my best to paint in the little Volkswagen badge, and then of course the GTI red ring. Now I've got this for Father's Day, which are very cool. Don't know, my wife said I can use it for something else though. Not sure if I appreciated that comment. But anyway, back to the jar of goodness. You can see most of the paint is removed. I say most of it. I've had better experiences. You know, considering I put it to one side for almost 10 minutes, I expected all of this to come off. And considering I'm without my rotary tool at the moment, it wasn't the best timing, to be honest. But I shall kind of go with this power strip. And to be honest, that as well just made a mess. It kind of went all gloopy and sticky, so I actually cleaned that off and then went with another load of caustic soda. And eventually I got into a position where obviously I was ready for paint. So just a nice single coat on the base there. Put that to one side to dry. And then using my Tamiya Fine Surface Primer in white. First of all, cover the bonnet there. Making sure to get all the edges. And then reach now for the main body casting. And I'll start by covering the inside of the car. Then kind of like the bottom there of all the doors and chassis. Make sure that I've covered the inside of the wheel arches. And then just a spray across all surfaces. And I'll do just a single relatively heavy coat. And then put it to one side to dry for 10 minutes before paint. And you can see there, smooth as a baby's butt. Now, if you see my recent video, my last video was the Porsche 928. This was the paint that I used, and that I'd brought forward from a previous project. So, kind of continuing with that trend, I'm gonna use this paint, but add a couple of other bits and pieces. So we got some, I think, gunmetal grey and gunmetal blue, and create the next colour. Quite enjoy just making up these paints and letting really the paint decide the colour rather than myself. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit more blue. I've got no real aim, no kind of colour to aim for, just something that as I look at I think that's nice. I'd like to have a Golf in that colour. And again, in the light you may just see as it kind of thins out on the wood there, there's still a kind of, I guess like a base of gold within this, I guess, what is it, turquoise or greeny blue. It's still got that kind of chameleon effect, that colour change, you know, depending on the light angle and such. So it's certainly dark green as I'm holding it in my hand and kind of twiddling it around. Yeah, very cool. I think, if I remember rightly, the Mark II come in like a dark green colour. And a friend of mine has got a Mark IV Golf GTI, and from a distance it looks grey, but actually on closer inspection it's almost like a grey green, and it's a very nice colour. And I was kind of, I guess, almost somewhat trying to recreate it here, But now after probably 3 or 4 coats, and it takes on a bit of a satin finish. So now hitting it up with some lacquer, just so we can get it nice and shiny. Now I use Tamiya Clear X22, and I go with a 50-50 ratio to thinner, but I don't know whether that's right or wrong. Maybe someone in the comments could better advise me, but it's got a nice shine to it, and you can see the Porsche previously, the colour difference. It is quite a massive difference. So now with some of that engine detail, some of the rear detail, obviously we've got the bonnet there, nice shiny window section, the interior and the base. I'm going to put it all together, and obviously I added a set of wheels which I forgot to show you, but as a little reminder of what she looked like, and this is the final result. I like this little car. It's got some nice little detail. I guess the kind of shape of it, or the size of it, is a little bit off from the true car, but otherwise I think these wheels suit. I love the colour and the details, and yeah, very happy with this one. But anyway, I'll take this opportunity to thank my patrons, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.